All right, so NOCTISDNA came out with another video addressing claims and essentially debunking them. And I'm just gonna debunk that debunking because a lot of it is bullshit, for lack of better words, of course.
Before I say anything, if I say stuff that comes out vague, it's for the sake of the people in this video's privacy.
The voice is annoying as always, very on brand for this guy. But let's continue, I suppose.
I would like to point out how she just started the video off just bashing my looks and just leaking my state.
You're the last to talk about bashing appearances, bro. How do you expect anyone to give a fuck when this is you? Like the state thing, all right, okay. But yeah, bud, it is true you look like a Dollar Tree version of Michael Jackson. No one's obligated to be nice about that with the way you've talked.
From my knowledge, he does not go to school, which kind of adds on to the obvious evidence of him being a total loser and idiot. In this free time, he enjoys making TikToks, asking women for nudes.
To clarify, I want to say that this is Emma. Me and her were mentally unstable. She would often threaten to harm herself every time I try to leave her or like have a break from her. I'm not gonna say I was like the greatest in their like relationship neither, but at the position at the time as well, I wanted to try to find a way to leave. Even though I see that saying this now, it wasn't really smart of a choice, and I apologize. And now I see that there was a better way to handle this situation. So I'm sorry for saying this stuff I said, and I've changed since then. And again, I apologize. It was a toxic relationship.
Obviously, I'll go ahead and get back to that Emma situation. But merch, this fool didn't just skip past that whole N-word screenshot. Hold on. I know for a fact this guy has no business saying the N slur. I mean, bro, like, Buddy lied about some random dude being his so-called black dad to justify him saying the N-word. Come to find out, bro in the picture isn't even black. I mean, not to mention not his dad. But like, yo. And then there's this whole discourse about him being 20% black and that being the supposed reason he thought he was entitled to use the N slur. But he's actually stupid if he thinks anyone with a brain is buying that shit. Please point me at one sensible quarter breed that sincerely thinks they're able to use the N-word without repercussions. And even without that, if this guy's gonna lie about who his biological father is and lie about the race of said biological father, who's to say Buddy isn't lying about being 20% black in the first place? And other things. And it's the fact he brushes it off as if it's not a big deal to use a racial slur as someone who can't reclaim it. Doesn't even take 3 seconds to address that. It's very, very off-putting. But anyways, going back to the Emma situation, this is what he says.
So I'm sorry for saying this stuff I said, and I've changed since then. And again, I apologize. It was a toxic relationship.
That's such bullshit. He hasn't changed. Because if he did, there wouldn't be recent screenshots of him pressuring girls to show their body and overall speaking to them in degrading and violent ways. Like, how do you claim you've changed, but then your mods are coming out with stuff like this? Even I wasn't prepared to see these stories that these girls have. I mean, forcing them to cut off and completely isolate themselves from their friends, screaming and cussing at them, calling them things out of their name, essentially speaking down on them until they lose any sense of self-respect or worth. Yeah, it's not nice to see, to say the least. So yeah, that whole I've changed, I'm sorry skit is such bullshit, because it's like, if that's the case, why are there recent screenshots of you doing the same shit to the mods in your server? You know? So yeah, what the hell?
Clarify, this is the same girl I said me and her were not in the right mindsets at the time, and it was a toxic relationship where we both did and said bad things. I feel like the person making this video is just cherry picking what's screenshotting, what screenshots. And for this, I have no idea who this is. I try to find their account. I don't know how they even know about me. I don't know who this is.
So apparently they both did bad things. Okay. Well, take a look at some of the things Emma had to say about their relationship. She talks about one of the times he assaulted her, and about how her mental health deteriorated throughout the relationship. So, I mean, you can say you guys both did bad things, but dare I say that doesn't really excuse sexual assault. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say it's not really looking so good over here for Lil Huddy Part 2.
He also says very alarming things to these girls.
That was my ex, and I'm gonna show on screen now. I bought her stuff, and at the time I was really mad because she cheated on me, and now I see that it isn't right to take actions that way. But I bought her like stuff worth like $200 plus. The killing part was a joke, and I'm sorry that was really weird of me to say, so I apologize for that.
It's the way he's trying to act like him talking in this very concerning and wild, threatening manner is an isolated event, when in fact he's done it many other times with multiple different people. So, bro, like, if you're gonna have a crusty ass wig, a borderline addiction to whitewashing yourself, and stank ass breath, confirmed, the very least you could do is know how to watch that fuck ass mouth. But he can't even do that. It's like lying and rationalizing go hand in hand with breathing for this guy. It's crazy.
So I'm going to be reading the victim story of what happened between her and Jody.
Here's the actual events at my place.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I guess it's to each their own on who they choose to believe. But with the amount of times this guy has lied and lied, I don't know.
All he did was tell the victims to say that they weren't assaulted and used by him. But newsflash, Jody, just because you manipulate these victims into saying that you're innocent doesn't rewrite history. You did what you did, and the jokes write themselves.
I didn't manipulate anyone. What? I've not bladed anyone. I tend to always be like, hey, if you want to talk about it, we can. If you had an issue. Obviously, back then, I wasn't the best either. I didn't threaten anyone. I generally don't know what you're talking about.
From here on out, the video just gets very unserious as he's just acting oblivious and denying shit as if the screenshots don't tell a completely different story than what he's trying to portray.
I don't know who the fuck this is. All of the quote-unquote evidence throughout this whole video that she made, all the names are blurred and are not valid evidence, since these quite literally could be made by anyone saving some random bullshit that didn't happen. No actual evidence is shown here, so I can't really talk about this.
Okay, but this is actually a fair point. But if you're looking for a place to get credible, incriminating evidence of this guy being a total weirdo, I very, very, very highly recommend checking out the Jail Jody Instagram page. That's actually where I got quite a bit of my information, as well as other direct sources. But yeah.
And by the way, oh my god, I have a screenshot of Drake. Someone saw Drake.
He's over here cracking jokes because he thinks that he's cleared his name and it's gonna be let off the hook. But bro, that would have possibly been an option if there wasn't so much proof clashing with what you're saying in this video. But I do have to say, it is definitely a fact that his stupid ass fans will always stand 10 toes behind this guy. I swear it wouldn't even matter if it came out that this guy was the founder of the KKK. They would still stand behind this guy. I mean, to each their own. If you want to support a fucking weirdo on the internet, go ahead, I suppose. But yeah, in summary, bro hasn't changed. There's recent evidence of him doing the same exact shit he claims to have changed from to new and different people. So that's dead. Bye until further notice.